Yeah, the last thing, man, God gave me this yesterday morning. I knew it already, you know what I'm saying? But he just brought it up in my spirit and my mind and refreshed me. You know what I'm saying? Things happen in God's time. Uh Things line up in God's time. You know, not stuff don't happen when we want it to happen. It don't happen when we first want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? It might happen way later on down the line. It happened when God is ready for it to happen. And, you know, a classic example is Abraham and Sarah and the child Isaac. You know what I'm saying? Stuff don't happen when you want it to happen. It happened in God's time when he wanted to happen. You know what I mean? He just reminded me of that. You know, he just reminded me of that. You know what I mean? If it's meant to be, it'll line up. But it'll line up in God's time. And then, you know, if it's not meant to be, it won't line up. And that could be anything. That could be something you want to be in life. That could be something you want for yourself. That could be a person. It could be a certain amount of money. It could be a business. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's God's plan and God's will, you know, or answer to your prayer from God, then it'll line up. But stuff lines up in God's time. You know, not in our time when we want it to happen. When we first want it to happen, or when we might want it to happen, it happened when he wanted to happen. But it will line up if it's God's will, you know what I mean? And sometimes we want things and it don't line up. That means it wasn't God's will. But if it is God's will, it'll line up in due time, in God's time. Uh yeah, timing, man. Timing's everything. Yeah, stuff gotta line up. And if it got to do with people, it got to line up on both ends. This group and that group. This nation and that nation. This person and that person. You dig? If it got to do with people, it got to line up on both ends. Both people, it got to be an agreement on both ends, not just one end. But if it's of God and he work it out, it line up on both ends. It'll line up in due time though, in God's time, not man's time. Not when we first want something to happen or want something to be. You know, it's when he want it to be. If it's his will. Some things won't line up because it's not his will. It's not meant to be. He's not in it. Uh yeah. All that there. Oh yeah, here go my notes. I got this yesterday morning. I said things line up in God's time, not ours, if it's meant to be. I got that scripture. Many devices are in a man's heart, but the Lord directeth his steps. Proverbs and path to get there. Okay, that's a word right there. I'm gonna finish it off with that. That's Proverbs, I want to say 16. Something. Okay, here go a good one. Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. That's not it though. Okay, Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Okay, that's still not it though. I can't use my phone because I'm recording on the phone. But it's a scripture. He say, many are the devices in a man's heart, but the Lord directeth his way. Y'all have to Google that. Cause I meant to get the scripture too, but I ain't finna I ain't finna look all day. Yes, another scripture though. It say, "Many are the devices in the heart of man, but the Lord directed his way." Something like that. Yeah, we have to Google that. Yeah, we'll have to Google that. But you don't know the path to get there. You know what I'm saying? When you want something, or it could be someone, you know what I'm saying? If God does grant it, you don't know the way it's going to be fulfilled. You don't know the path it's going to take to get you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Joseph did, but think about if Joseph prayed, like, God put me in a position of authority where I can make a difference for the world. I'm just saying that as an example. Like, that's not recorded in scripture. That's just something I'm coming up with in my imagination. Like, think about if Joseph would have prayed, like, God, make me somebody who's in a position of authority where I can make a difference for the world. You know what I mean? Like, you could pray a prayer like that, but think about if Joseph prayed like that though. Look at what it took to get him there though. So when you asking God for what you asking God for, you don't know what's gonna happen for him to get it to you. Or if you asking God, this is what I want to be, make me into this or make me into that, he might do that. He can do that, but you don't know what it's gonna take to make you into that. You don't know what it's gonna take to make you that. Or if you say, God, please give me this, he can give you that, but you don't know what it's gonna take to happen for you to get that or be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, when you ask God to make you somebody or do something for you or give you this or that, you don't know what's going to have to happen for that to happen. You don't know what's going to happen for that prayer to be answered. You don't know what's going to happen for that to be done for you. You don't know what type of circumstances is going to unfold for that to be done for you. Like that kind of time. Like you can, God can do something, but you don't know how he's going to make it happen. God can make something happen for you, but you don't know how he's going to do it. What circumstances is going to occur and what he's going to use and how that made you feel and what you had to go through. Like, you don't know what he's going to use and how he's going to use it to make you into who you asked him to make you or to do for you what you asked him to do or to get to you what you asked him for. Like, you don't know what's going to take place for that to happen. You don't know how God going to do it. And it's definitely stuff to be out of our mind, stuff that we didn't have in mind. You know what I mean? Stuff that you was not thinking about, a crazy process. That's just how it is. Think about that though. When you ask God for what you want or who you want or what you want God to do for you don't have no clue how he's going to do it. The circumstances that's going to occur and the stuff that he's going to use to answer your prayer, like you never know how he going to do what he do. For real. Bars. And I'm gonna end it on that, man. Uh, you don't know the path that you're gonna end up taking to become who God called you to be. You thought it was gonna be something simple and easy and basic and average and mediocre, but no, it's something different. It's something out of this world. It's something extraordinary. But it come with a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, but it come with a lot of good times, a lot of pure joy. You know what I mean? And it come with the grace of God, though, God being with you. for real and in a real way. You know what I mean? And I'm going to end it like that. Jesus.